The City of Casey proudly acknowledges the traditional owners, Casey's Aboriginal communities, and their rich culture, and pays respect to their elders past, present and future. We acknowledge Aboriginal people as Australia's first people and as the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which we work and live. This podcast has been recorded on Bunurong land.
The views, opinions and information shared during the KCU Services podcast series belong solely to the individuals involved. Any recommendations or advice given during the podcast are general in nature and does not replace the need to seek professional advice where necessary. If you are in need of urgent assistance, please call 000 or the Kids Helpline on 1800 551 800.
Hey everyone, welcome to Season 6, Episode 3 of the KC Youth Services Podcast. I'm Kyle and joining me today is Stephen.
Hi everyone.
And Chanel.
Hello.
Today we are going to be talking about work experience advice for young people, particularly in Year 10. Got an icebreaker question. What would be, this is a two-parter, what would be your favourite campsite or campground? And what do you actually enjoy camping in the first place?
Well, my favourite place to go camping is a place on the Murray. It's in Cobram. So it's just on the border of New South Wales. It's this really cool spot next to the Murray where we go and fish, and we're like fishing, and we go like on the boat and we cruise around, and there's like a rope swing, and like you go forward driving as well.
Yeah.
So there's like a few cool things you can do there. I haven't caught any good fish yet, but I probably need some tips on how to fish. But I do like this place in Cobram. It's really cool. I think it's only 2.5 hour drive from out of Melbourne, so it's not too far, but yeah, that's probably my first option to go if I thought about camping. And yes, I enjoy camping. I actually love camping.
Yeah, the Murray's pretty good overall.
Yeah.
Just any spot really is good. Stephen?
So I don't enjoy camping.
Oh.
I am one of those that would, I feel like we've evolved as humans, that we can sleep. I feel like we don't need to sleep looking at the stars anymore. So, but each to their own. I would take a holiday where there's a pool, some sunny weather, all those sort of things. I do like the idea of it. I just don't like mosquitoes. I don't like the idea of bugs and all the rest of it. So everyone's entitled to their thoughts, and I love that you've got a passion for it, but I'll pass on the camping.
No, fair. To be fair though, a nice poolside resort, whatever, is quite nice too. So, as for myself, I love camping. As we all know, I went to the prom recently, which probably would be my favourite place to go. Not sure if north side of the prom or south side of the prom. I haven't done north side that much, but south side I've done a lot more, Tidal River, that sort of thing. Yeah, I think overall, I'm trying to think of like my favourite part of the prom.
Is it getting the corsage?
No, it's not getting the corsage. So, well, okay, a bit of a backstory. So I've been to the prom most of my life, and there's a lot that's changed geographically there because of the bushfires, because of the landslides. So when I first went there, like the Sealers Cove hike was very different. And I'm trying to think now, last time I did it was when it was remade. I think I kind of prefer the old hiking trail. But I think, overall, I don't know why I'm talking about this. I just realized my favorite spot. My favorite spot in the prom is the Big Drift, which is this big like desert kind of wasteland at the entrance to the prom. Have you been there before?
Nope.
No.
Oh,
Sounds cool though.
It's sick. It's like these huge sand dunes that just go on for like a good 2-3 kilometers, and it's just like the most beautiful spot. And you can it's like completely silent. It's awesome. So that'd be my favorite spot. You can't camp there though, to be fair, but it's still awesome.
Well, it's your favourite part of the camping experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if it's silent, then I'd like that as well.
Yeah. There's no birds or anything. Like it's awesome.
See, part of the idea of camping would be getting back to nature. So hearing those birds and just the nature sounds would be it'd just be relaxing, wouldn't it? Isn't that part of the appeal?
Yeah, no, that's true. That's what Tidal River is for. But yeah, Big Drift just has a special place in my heart because it's just nice to even get away from any kind of noise and just to sit there and to relax. Yeah.
See, I feel like we would have to mention Rory here because we're talking about birds and we know how much he loves his birds. So yeah, shout out to the bus driver.
Yeah.
Hello, Rory.
Yeah, I feel like Rory would really like the Big Drift as well, actually. I think he'd quite like the silence, but I don't know.
Is it within Casey's boundary? I don't think so.
No, that
We
would be
should
cool though.
be
An
cool.
excursion to the prom.
Yeah, get the 360 out there.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Okay, so moving on to our discussion topic for today. As we said in the introduction, today's topic is regarding work experience advice, particularly for Year 10 work experience is our main focus today. Okay, so this is not so much a question and answer as it is more just standard advice for young people that are experiencing Year 10 work experience, that is. Now, just to clarify, this isn't how to get work experience. You'll have to talk to your school or your careers counsellor regarding that. This is more advice on what to do while you're at work experience. Thought we'd first discuss what we did for Year 10 work experience. So, Stephen, take us away.
Okay, so back in the 90s, Dandenong CFA was a thing. I drove past it recently and it's just not there anymore.
Oh,
Yeah, so memories for me. I remember doing 2 weeks of being a firefighter. It was so cool. It's not the direction that I went, but I really appreciate the idea of getting out there and trying something special. I had to do modules, safety and whatnot. I had to attend the fires as well. So I actually got to attend some of the calls. So I had to get the boots on, the overalls on, wear the hat or the helmet. Yeah, it was really cool. I got to go out and see live fires. We went out to a chemical place that had an issue.
surely that's not possible now.
Probably not today,
Yeah, I was
You
going to
know.
say.
but we're looking, almost 30 years ago now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a fantastic time. I actually had to wear the breathing apparatus, so the BA, as you may hear, the BA, and then I had to do some of the modules where you actually, like the actual physical modules where you would need to be able to carry like a dummy up
Oh, wow.
a flight of stairs. I was a lot fitter back then. I trailed off a little bit. But yeah, so I was able to do these cool things that it's really wild to think that you could attend as a young person
Yeah.
on work experience
Yeah.
a fire. How cool was this?
So you forgot to go in the truck and
Yeah. Oh, we got in the truck. It was great. Some of the things that I do recall that were a little awkward was some of the conversations that were had. Because I was a lot younger than, the firefighters, some of the conversations they had, I probably wasn't quite prepared for. So I was a little bit naive in terms of age. So some of the topics and things they talked about, I was a little bit, hang on, I'm not quite sure I'm comfortable here. It was a different time, so it was really hard to speak up at that point.
Was it, so not work related then?
No,
Just
definitely not
inappropriate.
work related.
Yeah,
like
okay.
these guys, like they spend so much time together. They really
Yeah.
bonded. They really bonded. So some of the things they would talk about, it's a little bit different to what
Yeah.
you would expect to hear
Yeah, of
from a
course.
group of guys at work. I don't
Yeah.
think today would be the same.
Nah, okay, fair. Chanel?
Year 10. What a time. I did, it was really weird. My work experience, I cut in half and I did the first half in Big W, and that was a lot of fun because I did it with a mate of mine and we did pretty much everything. It was really cool. We did stock. We kind of shadowed more of like the senior staff that were in Big W. It was just cool to kind of see how like the systems and how everything worked because, obviously when you just walk in, you just see like everything's already put together. But seeing how everything gets put together, that was pretty cool. And we had, like the person who was looking after us at Big W, we were lucky enough to have someone who was really nice and open-minded and willing to like let us learn instead of just kind of telling us what to do.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, so we were pretty lucky in that sense. And then I did the second half at high school with my teacher, my PE teacher, and we did PE classes. And that was really cool. It was kind of weird though because I was younger and I was like going to year 12 classes. So it was kind of weird telling someone who was older than me, like we're doing classes, I'm like, no, you have to do this, you have to do that. And they're like, what, who are you? I'm like, yeah, so it was pretty cool. It was really nice with the teacher that I had as well. They were really cool as well. Like they were really open-minded as well. Same with the staff at Big W. But doing a PE class, like running it, that was like really cool because I love sport. And seeing how that was done, yeah, that was sick.
Any shout outs to the teacher or the staff members?
Are we allowed to shout out?
Go for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Shout out to Mr. Gardner, man.
Hell yeah, Mr. Gardner, what a ledge.
Mr. G.
Yeah, that's what we called him, Mr. G. Yeah, that's cool as. He's such a legend.
Totally see that. What's interesting out of that thought there is, as a young person that's in year 10, maybe about 16 years old, you're expected to make decisions that an adult would make, and then you would need to direct those. That's a lot of responsibility to take on. So, yeah, that's something you need to remember when you're going into these work placement or work experience placements. There's a lot of pressure to sort of act like an adult.
Yeah, there is. And like, I reckon it's pretty important to remember when you go to work experience, like that's exactly what it is. It's like, it's in the name. You're getting experience for work. So it's good to go and be open-minded. Whatever work experience, whatever workplace you go to, it's cool to kind of take everything in and go with like a learning mind, you know, because then you can figure out kind of what you want to do, what you don't want to do, what kind of fits you, what you don't like, because you leave like a lot of your options open. So I reckon that'd be good.
It's like a free trial of a video game.
Pretty much.
It's just have a bit of fun and see how you go if you like it.
Yeah.
If you like it, buy it. If you don't, buy the next game.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's really cool.
I was going to ask Chanel, was that 2 weeks each?
No, I did 1 week at Big W and
I
then
see.
1 week at school.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you just did 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, 2
Okay.
weeks of modules and theory and practice and attending emergencies. So I don't think there was anything too gruesome. I think they would have shielded me from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was when that fire alarm goes off, we're all running to the truck. Yeah.
That's cool.
It was good fun. Like there's little things like, you know, maintenance and checking through things. There's so many things, you know, if you watch TV and you see like a show with the firefighters and whatnot, you see all the cool things they get to do, but there's so much outside of that. Just even understanding the streets. You've got to know where you're driving. You've got to know where you're going. Best way to get to places. So yeah,
And
this
it's all
is
like high pressure, isn't it?
this is
Yeah,
and
it's
this,
all under pressure.
Yeah.
Exactly.
and this was like 30 years ago. So
no Google Maps.
nobody had mobile phones.
Melways.
So,
Melways,
yeah, it was a Melways. That's what it was.
Yeah,
So
Melways.
yeah, we're going off maps or we're going off the dispatcher. We tell them where to drive. So yeah, it was very interesting. Very
Quick.
cool.
Well, that's interesting because I'm pretty sure my work experience was a month. So for the two of you to have a week each
Yeah,
for
we
you,
just
Chanel,
had-
and then
Well, I guess if you don't do it right the first time.
Sorry, of course, yeah. Well, so I did do it right. Thank you very much. But my work experience was it was pretty special to me actually. I got to go to a kindergarten, particularly the kindergarten that I actually went to as a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old. Can't actually remember because I think I did 2 years of 4-year-old kinder. So I was there for 3 years basically. But it was interesting because I didn't actually expect this, but when I got there, I actually met the two teachers that taught me when I was in kinder. So they'd been there for like 12, 13 years or whatever. So shout out to Sarah and Kerry. They were absolutely phenomenal teachers back when I was a kid. And then obviously, when I was working with them at the time, it was amazing, honestly, to watch them work. And they'd evolved so much. But actually, like in terms of what I kind of did, I don't really remember. It was all a bit of a blur to me. It was a bit strange to see. Kindergarten had kind of changed a lot, but had also not changed a whole lot. A lot of like new equipment, that sort of thing. But the actual layout of the classroom hadn't changed too much. But it was quite cool to like interact with like very small kids. Obviously, being a 17-year-old at the time, I just like towered over them, and they were like, "Whoa, who's this?" I'm like, "Oh, hi, I'm Kyle." But it was pretty cool. Bit of experience changing, not nappies, but like putting them in the bin, that sort of thing. I wasn't allowed to do that sort of thing, but I was allowed to like put them in the bin. And they were like, "Oh, why isn't this one helping?" I'm like, because I can't. And that'd be a bit strange. But like there was a lot of strange smells at a kindergarten. I'll let everyone know about that. That was an experience for my nose, I'll tell you that. But no, it was good. It was good overall to go back there. It was pretty special to see the place again. Yeah, and that was my work experience.
Yeah, that's cool. It would have been pretty lucky, like seeing all like the little ones run around, and you'd be like imagining, man, this was me.
Literally.
You know, I was at this school, like that was me, like so long ago. You know?
Yeah. It was bizarre to see, like, even just from a development point of view, seeing like I'm not a very tall person or anything, but seeing how tall I was compared to a 3-year-old, I was like, wow, you grow up so much in the time that you go from 3 years old to 17.
Yeah, it's a big growth period for them, isn't it?
Yeah, it was really interesting.
Would have been pretty loud as well, eh?
The noise. I don't like loud noise, and I got walked in. And I was like, this wasn't a good idea, because they're just like they're just screaming and stuff. I'm like, oh my god! But they were fun. It was fun, even with the loud noise. It was quite nice to be around them.
So I'm thinking, I've got 2 thoughts here. Shout out to our kindergarten teachers at City of Casey. You guys do a fantastic job. Did get to meet a couple over the Kids Carnival over the weekend. That was really cool. And the second thought is, Kyle, did they actually think that your finger painting had improved?
So what Stephen's talking about here, because I showed him this the other day and he absolutely loved it. I've actually shown a lot of people this now. So the answer is no. It hadn't, by the way, just to get that off the bat. I showed Stephen a painting I did in the last 7 or 8 years of my wife, and it's terrible. It's one of the worst things. You know what? Oh, I don't know if we can do this, but we'll try and on our socials, maybe we might post it or something and just let everyone know how this is genuinely one of the worst pictures you'll ever see. So 8 years ago, my wife and I decided to paint each other. And I just did Steve's face now. He's like, this is horrible. It looks so bad. Anyway, I did an atrocious painting of Jess. And then she did a pretty good one of me. And I showed Steve this and he's referencing it now. So that is what that was.
I have met Jess and she looks nothing like your attempt at finger painting or whatever it was. It was...
It is, to be fair, it is technically better than a 3-year-old's, but not by much. So.
Look, when we compare your finger painting skills to youth works, you're a fantastic youth worker.
Oh, thank you.
What can I say?
Thank you. I mean, it's a bit of a difference there, I think. I feel like I'd be a much better youth worker, even regardless of my painting skills, just considering that my art skills are pretty bad.
I have to say, in all fairness, my art skills wouldn't be any better. It's just that I didn't put myself out there. So
no,
I really should congratulate you on on your ability to take that challenge and try it. I've never tried it, so I really shouldn't be too critical.
No, it's totally fine. I should mention that my wife loves this painting. It's her favorite thing we've ever done, and it hangs up in her house, which is embarrassing because when someone comes over, they're like, "What's that?" And she's like, "It's the best thing ever." I'm like, "It's really not. It's the worst thing."
Yeah, my 4-year-old nephew did this, and no, my husband.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, no, I can't. I can't say a nephew did it because I have no nephews, so it has to be me. But moving on, to get a bit sidetracked there.
Yes.
I thought we'd talk about some of the things you can do as a young person in work experience to make your life a bit easier and just to get yourself prepared for what working is like. I've noticed this a little bit. So I do personal training, and every now and then my personal trainer has a young person come on to help him out, and just kind of observing these young people, I think it'd be good for us to talk about what kind of things you can do that can improve your experience in work experience. And the first thing I thought of was asking questions. Naturally, not all this advice is going to help someone in work experience, but the idea is that some of this can, or mix and choose what you need. But yeah, asking questions in particular. If you are finding that you're just kind of standing there, or you're observing and you're curious about what is happening, it's more than fine to ask questions. Whoever is working with you most likely enjoys what they do, and they're happy to talk about what they do. A lot of people in general like to talk about things about them. So naturally, they're going to be like, yeah, sure, I'll happily talk to you about this. And I know as us as youth workers, we love to talk about what we do. So it's not a big deal for us, and it shouldn't really be a big deal for most people. But yeah, asking questions about the job, asking questions if you can do something, that can go a long way to help you learn what this particular career is like. Even ask the person you're working with what their experience is working through their job, how they got to be where they are. Yeah, it can be really, really helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't feel like asking questions is the wrong thing to do, because the person you're working with, they want to teach you, or they wouldn't be in that space. And the thing is, don't be afraid to ask those questions, because even if it sounds in your head that it doesn't sound like a intelligent question, it might have something there that they've never considered before, because a different set of eyes that comes into a workplace, they see different things. So you might see something that makes no sense to you, but when you ask the question, you may get that response where they'll tell you why it's this way, or they may look at it and think, hang on, maybe there is another option to working that way. The things that you think about and see, that could actually improve the workplace too. So don't be afraid to talk.
Yeah, for sure. I reckon, if you ask a lot of questions, it not only helps you figure out how systems work, like systems is really important in workplaces. You'll learn that. I reckon the more questions you ask, the more knowledge you gain. So especially in a workplace where you think, or even if it's a workplace where you think, no, I don't think this place will be like for me, or I don't think I'll be working here, I'm just here for work experience. Just know that like knowledge, you can carry knowledge into different like workplaces. So it's like going from youth work, working into say hospitality. There's so many things that like cross over, and that you can use those skills in different workplaces. So it's all about like learning, like work experience. Yeah, take the experience from the work pretty much, So be open-minded, and it'll be like really good to kind of gain knowledge that you'll be able to cross over into other workplaces or even just in your personal life.
So you only have 2 weeks potentially in this role. So you're not a student at that moment from the school. You're a student in life. So ask questions and have confidence in yourself, because, it's time to give it a crack.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say as well, asking questions shows that you're interested, like where you are or what you're doing. And that can go a long way as well when it comes to, I'll talk about this in a minute, but when it comes time to feedback and that sort of thing, if you've shown that curiosity, that can come a long way as well into improving your rapport with this organisation or or who you're working with.
Absolutely. So one way of showing that you're actually paying attention is to paraphrase. When someone tells you how to do something, you'll say it in your own words so that they know you understand. So that's a good way of showing that you've actually learnt from them too.
So moving on, I was thinking about showing initiative as well, with just observing some people I've seen on work experience. If you see something that needs to be done, and this is within obviously the boundaries of what your role is in work experience, but if you see like some rubbish on the ground, or if you see like something that needs to be put away, feel free to do that. Like people will see that and be like, oh, that's fantastic. They're showing initiative. They're actually wanting to be here. They want to help out. And that can go a long way. And it's always good. That helps you later on in when you do actually go to work.
It sets good standards for sure. It sets good standards there for you to sort of flow into. Sometimes what can be seen as a little menial task for those that are in this role, if you're happy to grab that, do that for them, that helps them so much, because it frees them up a bit and gives them more time to actually teach you. And it shows that, you're there to help them. They'll help you.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right.
Yeah, pretty much. Like when you do stuff like this as well and showing initiative, it helps the team out. And you've got to remember, like in most or majority of workplaces, wherever you go, working together as a team is probably the most effective way to get to a certain goal that you guys are trying to reach. So even if you like say in Big W or Kmart, if there's like clothes that are not folded or toys where they're not meant to be, if you kind of put that away or you fold that piece of clothing, not only does it set like a standard for that organization or that company, but it sets a standard for the people working together. So if you fold a piece of clothing someone sees, they'll do the same.
Yeah.
So then it kind of, it's like a domino effect, like if you pick up rubbish or if you take the initiative and you're the one doing it, people will naturally follow that. And obviously that's a leadership quality, which is really good to have. But even if you're not, or you do not see yourself as a leader, doing those things, they lead in different ways.
Yeah.
So if you're working together as a team, if you want to go somewhere slow, go by yourself. But if you want to get there quick, go together. Yeah. So working together as a team obviously is more effective than you working on your own to get to a certain goal. And it doesn't have to be such a massive goal. It could be just making the workplace a lot more cleaner just to work more effectively. So teamwork is important. Just remember that.
Culture and standards. It doesn't matter what level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, exactly. And the other thing I just thought of as well was asking for feedback. So once you're done with work experience, or the designated time that you've had with this organisation or placement, make sure you ask either the person that you've been working with or the supervisor, the boss, whatever, about feedback that you can receive to further your own career. And it's really important that you do this because constructive criticism is a big part of like your professional life, and you will need to obviously take that at some point. It's good when you're a bit younger to take that on board and evolve professionally.
I think sometimes you've got to remember too that adults forget what it's like to be new. They forget what it's like to be trying something special, doing work experience or work placement for them was so long ago. So they forget the importance of, you know, that positive and negative feedback so that you can learn to do something differently, or you can actually feel the praise and think, okay, I did do a good job there and it was noted. And I feel, validated for my choice or whatever you choose to do there. Validation is great. And hearing it from somebody that's there as a teacher, it's even more important because it gives you that strength of confidence that you've done a good job. So it's really important to ask for that feedback.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Feedback is very important because it puts things in a different perspective. When you come into work, like I know when I come into work sometimes I'll have like kind of a set routine or set something where I know what to do. But if someone else comes in and tells me like doing it this way, it could be an easier way to do things. It's good to get feedback because then you know how to do things better, but then it also builds a good rapport with whoever you're getting feedback from, and it's important for you to be honest with them as well. So when you're getting feedback, it's good to kind of talk to them about the feedback that they're giving you so you get a better understanding of what it is.
Yeah, nice. Well, that's all I had for advice, but if you guys have anything you want to talk about, discuss.
I love the idea of splitting it into two. I didn't do that, but I do love the idea of it because then you get to actually try two different places and see what it's like in the two different places. No two places for work experience or work placement is going to be the same. So getting a feel for what it's like to work in this team versus that team, it's good for you to be able to understand the difference too. And you could pick two wildly different things, you know. It could be that you want to work with animals. So you'll go and, you know, maybe work with an animal shelter where you can do some really good stuff with animals that need support. But then, you know, you might be into sport as well. So maybe going and doing something at Casey Fields or at one of the sports shops, you know, working in retail. There's a lot of differences in what you can do, but try and have some fun while you're doing it too. So pick something that you like to do. You might not want to do it as a career, but once you get that experience, it just might change your thoughts on where you'd like to end up. So it's really cool to open up your eyes and try different things.
Yeah, that is exactly what I was going to say. If you choose two different things, you might actually end up liking the thing that you potentially didn't think you were going to like, but then you actually get experience there and you're like, oh, hey, you know what? This actually, this ain't too bad after all.
Yeah.
That's really good.
It is cool. Like when I had 2 weeks that were different, the most important thing that like I learned from that is when I'm working with other people, it's just always good to remember that like you got to have an open mind, you know, because when I was working in Big W, it was a whole different system to what it was like when you're setting up a PE class. Like setting up a PE class is way different than working in Big W. But it was cool to have those two experiences. I don't know if they do that now though. Do you reckon they'll be able to do that now?
No, I was under the impression that now it's just the one place you go to. Your forms are dedicated to the one organisation.
Maybe you should ask for anyone that's listening. Maybe if you want to do two separate workplaces, maybe ask whoever's taking that, because that'd be pretty cool. What else would be pretty cool is if you did one that you wanted to try to get to in your career with, and then one totally opposite.
Yeah. So that's another point too. At year 10, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my career life.
Yeah.
I had no idea. So picking something that was random, like going to the CFA, was cool because it wasn't something that I actually considered. I did enjoy my time there. It's not the career path that I ended up following, but it was really cool experience. And I did get to try things, and yeah, I feel like I grew up a little bit after doing it. So it opened my eyes to what a workplace can be like. So, and this is a thought that I just had now is looking at the two guys across from me here and thinking about the work placement that they did and my work placement, none of us actually followed that pathway. So it's something cool, even if it's just something that someone suggests to you. Don't feel that you have to follow that pathway.
Yeah.
It's just something to try. I feel like it's more about getting the understanding the routines of what it's like to be a person working in the workforce, more so than I need to do this on my work placement so that I can do this in my career. And yeah, a lot of people at that age still aren't sure what they want to do.
Yeah.
So
It's actually interesting that you say that, because when I was in year 10, I wanted to be a marine biologist, and I just chose the kindergarten because I was like, oh well, I went there when I was a kid, so I may as well just go there and see how it is now. But yeah, I had no intention of going into youth work or anything like that, so that's another interesting point for the listeners, that you might do one thing and just end up somewhere completely different, which is what happened to me.
So it was a step towards youth work.
Yeah, exactly. And did you want to do like teaching or?
No, when I was younger, I
Retail?
didn't I really had no idea.
Oh,
Like I really had no idea what I wanted to do, and I've done about 20,000 jobs. Literally done so many jobs. But this actually got brought to youth work got brought to my attention from my rugby coach.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it was just kind of another thing where I thought, I'll just try this out. No, but when I did it, I knew this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I've done so many different jobs, worked in so many different workplaces, and it just didn't feel right. But I just worked there obviously because I just wanted to work. I needed to work. But then when my coach kind of sent me up on this, I knew straight away when I was in it, the first job, this is it.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Actually, thinking about it, firefighting is working with community.
Yeah.
So I guess there is a little bit of, I did want to do something with community. It's a matter of, it took me a long time to get to where I'm at. But yeah, working with community and being a youth worker, I guess it's supporting, it's protecting where you can. So I guess it's not too much of a stretch to think firefighting or being a firefighter is working in the community, supporting community, and a youth worker. So really, are we firefighters or are we youth workers? No.
No, I was actually just thinking that. I was like, well, hang on. Firefighting is, serving your community. So it is definitely on the same kind of track as what we do now. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
When you go into whatever workplace you go into, don't forget to be yourself. Ask a lot of questions and go in with an open mind where you are learning a lot. You're going to learn a lot of skills in different workplaces. But like I said before, it's good to have that to be able to cross over into other workplaces and have fun.
Absolutely. Fun needs to be had. The thing is don't put all your eggs into this basket thinking, if I don't do well here, this is the end of my career. This is about having fun and going out there and trying something new. Give it your best. You just never know what networking skills you're going to pick up or, the pathways that can come from it until down the line when you're actually in a career and you think, hang on, I did learn something back then. You might not see it at the time, but you're probably going to learn some really interesting things, even if it's just the pressure of getting up and going to a workplace because you have to do it. It's part of your job. That's what it is. It's just getting routine and getting there. So that's something you will learn. Whether you enjoy it or not can also be how you approach it. If you're thinking it's just this, you might not enjoy it. But if you think, well, I'm going to try something, be open to it, your mind is ready to try. Your mind is ready and open to accept something new. Therefore, your experience could be a bit different to what it would be if you're already thinking, why am I doing this, whatever. Go in with an open mind and enjoy what you're doing. And if you don't enjoy it, that's okay. But give it a try.
You just raised a good point there that I just thought of. Speaking of networking, if you happen to do quite well at your work experience or you enjoy it, this can also open new opportunities within that field for you if you build good rapport with the boss or the supervisor or even just the co-worker that you worked alongside. That can be a good reference or it can be a good spot on your resume to show to a future employer. So definitely make sure you keep those connections up as well.
I mean, the other thing too, you might end up with a part-time or a casual role out of this. Could be something you do after school hours and, you get to get more experience but actually get paid a little bit more than you would during work placement. Yeah, it's just another opportunity potentially.
Yeah, cool.
So I think one of the main takeaways is, between now and when you have to sign those forms and fill in those forms of what you'd like to do, just think about what's something random and really cool that you might like to try. Don't feel that it has to be something that you're going to do when you're a 25-year-old with a family and all the other things. Just try something new. I never thought about becoming a firefighter. Afterwards, I enjoyed it. It just didn't feel like it was for me. But I did really enjoy the process. I learnt heaps from it and gave me some confidence to talk to adults, which was really good. As always, all appropriate links will be attached to the show notes. To stay up to date with the exciting things happening in KCU services, please feel free to follow, like and share us on social media accounts at KCU Services.
Feel free to drop into the KC Youth Information Centres. We are open 1:30 p.m. to 5:15 p.m, Monday to Friday with extended hours exclusive to Hampton Park. Please check out our website for more details.
Until next time, take care and stay safe.